This is probably the most overpowered build I've done so far. It has insane damage and range, it has a lot of armor and health to tank any hits, and most importantly, it has infinite focus and health gain with just one single attack. This is the Ranger Spear Knight build. I will show the full gear and stats at the end of this Crucible run. Now let's talk a bit about the new patch that was released a few days ago. The biggest changes are that they nerfed the focus and health gain. The big focus potion now gives 150 focus instead of 300. And they changed the normal bow attacks from using focus to stamina now. But just look at this next attack that I will do and look at the focus bar. Even with the nerfs, I still gain more than half of my focus with just one ranged attack. And my spear does the same. Now I'm going to let the big guy hit me so you can see just how tanky I am. Just look how many hits I can take. And now look at my health. Even with the nerf, I am stealing quite a lot of health back. I am also killing the knights in just one attack. The knights who have one of the highest defense from all the enemies. Like I said, normal bow attacks now consume stamina, and if you have focus gain on your gear, it's actually a very good way to gain focus with the range bow. The range of this build is insane. This is probably the most efficient build I've made so far, and it's always consistent. I forgot to mention that this build also has stamina gain on damage dealt. It's not that much in comparison to the focus and health gain, but it's noticeable enough to keep you attacking for a very long time. You can see the stamina gain by the green numbers when I attack. The red numbers are the health gain and the orange numbers are the focus gain. Just look how many mistakes you can make. You don't have to be good at dodging if you are with this build, as you can just have a lot of survivability and then you can just steal your health back. And just like that, I steal all of my health back. I'm just going to keep my distance now, as this build shines the further you are from the enemy. Okay, let's first start with the spear. Needle Spear. Firstly, the main slot weapon of this build is not as important as the bow. The spear is incredibly good and gives a bit of range considering it's a melee weapon, but I am just using it to buff my bow. You can use any one-handed weapon in your right hand together with the bow. Now the stats that I recommend you try to roll when you enchant it is the gain health and gain focus on damage dealt. The stats from the right hand weapon are used by the bow as well. So if you get focus gain on the spear, you will also use that focus gain on the bow. Now I could have used a gem that gives focus gain on the spear, but as you can see, one single bow shot fills more than half of my focus bar, so I just used a damage increase gem. Now another amazing thing about this spear is that it already comes with the rune damage surge. This rune is a buff that increases your damage even more, and I recommend you add this rune on any build you make. Now let's talk about the bread and butter of this build, the Yun longbow. You can buy this bow from Whitaker the Woodcutter for around 3 silver, and it already comes with the cone shot rune. The cone shot, in my opinion, is the best bow skill in the entire game. It fires a barrage of arrows, and the further away you are from the target, the more arrows will hit the target. If you have focus and health gain from your overall gear, every one of those arrows will generate you focus and health. That is why, even with the last patch nerf, this build is so overpowering. For the gems, I added an increased overall damage gem, gain focus on damage dealt, gain stamina on damage dealt, and lastly, I added a gem to decrease the weight of the bow, as the overall build uses the heaviest armor in the game for the best survivability. Now for the helmet, body armor, gloves and pants, they are all bought from the blacksmith, and I keep enchanting them until I get either chance to get health on damage taken or poise, or both of them. On my body armor, I managed to get both of them. I also added a gem with health increase. The reflect 3% damage taken doesn't work with the current patch. They nerf it so much to a point it does no damage at all, probably because people were using it to one-hit kill the last boss in the previous patch. For the helmet, I managed to get a chance to get 14% health on damage taken. I also added an armor rune. For the gloves, I got more poise increased and again added armor rune. A really good stat I managed to get on the gloves is the 14% stamina refill chance on damage dealt. Sometimes when I'm running out of stamina, it can instantly replenish it all and keep me going for longer. Unfortunately, it's a chance stat, so it will not trigger all the time. And for the pants, I managed to get both poise and health on damage taken. Also added armor rune. For the rings, I am using 2 rune rings that gives more damage to the cone shot skill. And the last ring is the crow ring that gives me 2% health on damage dealt. Unfortunately, it has a health decreased penalty, but the amount of health gain it gives is higher. Now I do have 2 of these rings, and one of them gives a less health on damage dealt. But the biggest problem is that the penalty is even higher with 2 of them. I have 30 points in the health stat, and with 2 crow rings, my health goes all the way down as when I was level 1. Now, how can you find these rings? Firstly, all the drops in this game are random. You can literally get the rings from any monster or chest that you can find throughout the game. You can also get them from daily challenges or bounties. I personally found a lot of good rings there very early in the game. But the most efficient and consistent way to find rings is just to go to Greenwich's general goods market. He usually has rings to sell, like 50% of the time. And if he doesn't just create a few more realms and go to him in every one of them. Just keep in mind that his shop needs to be at least level 2 or higher to sell rings. If you don't want to create other realms, just exit the game, change your computer's date, and when you enter the game again, his shop will be reset. And that's it. Keep going to the vendor Greenwich, and eventually you will find the ring that you desire. It's a fast and easy way to farm rings in the no rest for the wicked. Now, for the stats of this build, we have 30 points in health for more survivability. Then 42 points in dexterity. I added that much, because the spear needs 42, but the bow only needs 22 points. So if you use a different weapon in your right hand that doesn't require that much dexterity, then you can allocate some of these points to different stats. Then I added 31 in focus to give me more maximum focus. And lastly, since I'm using a very heavy armor, I added 21 points in equip load, and now my total weight class is at 99%. And that's it! The Ranger Spear Knight build. It has the best range in the game. It has high armor and health for survivability. And lastly, every cone shot gives insane focus and health gain. Technically, you should never need to use any focus potions or any health consumables with this build. Keep in mind that the game is still in early access, so certain things might change with future patches. I hope this video helps you in your wicked journey. If you liked this video, consider subscribing, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments.